When we think about what makes a great story, our minds usually jump to characters and plot, right? But what if I told you one of the most powerful tools in a storyteller's kit is something you might not even notice? Today, we're diving into the where of it all, how every single location, from a tiny bedroom to a crowded elevator, is basically a secret weapon just waiting to be used.
Okay, take a look at these places with me. We've got a mortuary, a bathroom, an elevator. At first glance, they seem totally random, but they have one huge thing in common. They are not just backdrops. Nope, they are carefully chosen stages, and each one is specifically designed to make a scene hit harder and feel more real. Let's break down exactly why that is. I want you to think about the places you go through every single day. Your kitchen, your car, your office. You probably barely even register them. But the moment you put those same places into a story, something magical happens. They completely transform. They stop being just scenery, and believe it or not, they become an unseen character with their own part to play.
So that all sounds great, but how do you actually harness this power? Well, it all comes down to understanding one simple but crucial rule. Every space in your story has to have a function. Let's really dig into what that means for you as a writer.
This right here, this idea of a functional space, completely reframes how we should think about setting. It's not passive anymore. It becomes a strategic tool. You're not just, picking a random place for a scene to happen. You're actively choosing a location that has these built-in qualities that are going to make your story feel so much more believable and powerful.
And here's the real magic trick. As this quote points out, choosing the right space doesn't fence your story in. It actually does the opposite. It sets it free. It makes your whole narrative more flexible, letting it bend and breathe and move in ways you might not have even expected. All right, let's see this whole idea in action. For our first case study, we're going to step into one of the most common, yet seriously powerful, spaces in all of storytelling, the bathroom.
What is a bathroom, really? It's a sanctuary. It's a place of total solitude. And that means it's inherently private, it's secretive, and it's quiet. For a writer, these aren't just descriptions. They are emotional levers you get to pull the second a character walks through that door.
And this is exactly why it works so well. Think about it. When a character is totally alone in a bathroom, their actions, maybe splashing cold water on their face in a panic, or giving themselves a quiet pep talk in the mirror, they feel so raw and real. That privacy creates an instant psychological bond with us, the audience. It's like we're being let in on their deepest secrets. We feel like we're seeing the real them.
Okay, now for a completely different kind of space. This one is public, but at the same time, it can be intensely private. It's always moving, yet it's also a completely static box. I'm talking, of course, about the elevator.
This slide just nails the core conflict of an elevator, doesn't it? On one hand, it's dynamic. It's always going up or down, literally taking characters to new heights or new depths. But on the other hand, it's static. It's a sealed metal box you can't escape. It's this perfect paradox of movement and confinement all at once.
And for a writer, this duality is an absolute gift. It turns the elevator into the ultimate versatile stage. It can be the setting for a life-changing conversation between strangers, a moment of awkward silence, or just pure claustrophobic terror. The dramatic possibilities are pretty much endless.
Okay, so we've seen how a private bathroom can build trust, and how a tense elevator can create drama. We get it. But how do you actually take this thinking and apply it to your own stories? What's the process?
This right here is the mission statement for every storyteller. Choosing a location can't just be an afterthought. It has to be a conscious, deliberate choice. You should always be asking yourself, what effect does this specific space have, and how can I use that effect to supercharge my story? So here's a super simple three-step way to think about it. First, you have to define your scene's emotional core. Is it about tension, hope, fear? Then, step two, just brainstorm a list of places that radiate that feeling. And for the final step, don't just pick the space that kind of fits. Pick the one that amplifies the emotion you want your audience to feel.
And hey, if you need any more proof that this matters, just look at a professional screenplay. Right after the scene number, what's the first thing you see? The location. INT for interior, or EXT for exterior. It gets top billing for a reason, because the where dictates absolutely everything that comes after.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a challenge. The next time you sit down to write, don't just ask what your characters will do. Ask where they'll do it. Is your setting just going to be a passive backdrop, or will it be an active, breathing character in your story? The choice and all that amazing power is yours.